Something I have loved doing the past few years that I've been blogging, 9 years, it's been 9 years, is promoting debut authors, because I just love discovering new authors and following them on their writing journeys. So today I thought I would share a bunch of debuts that have already come out between January and April this year. Some of them I've read, others I have not, but I will hopefully be reading very soon. I'm hoping to do the same video every 4 months because there are so many debuts coming out this year that I'm interested in and I couldn't put them all into one video. I'm also hopefully going to be hosting a debut-a-thon in June or July, maybe August this year. I hosted this a few years ago on my YouTube channel and a lot of people participated and it was a ton of fun. So I'm hoping to bring it back. It just depends if I can find the time and work around my busy schedule. But without further ado, on with the books. I have 11 here to talk to you about today, so I should probably get started. The first one is one that I've already read, and that is The Opposite of Always. This is a parallel universe / Groundhog Day type story. The main character meets and falls in love with a girl, and then the girl dies a few months later. He keeps going back in time in an attempt to save her life. This one has been getting so many good reviews and I can understand why, because it is so good. The main character quickly realises that there is more to life than his girlfriend. Not in a kind of he shouldn't care about her way, but in a kind of he shouldn't drop everything for her way. He needs to find a balance and he needs to consider his family and his friends and the people who have always been there for him, as well as caring for his girlfriend. The next book is The Fever King. This one has also been getting a lot of hype. It's a post-apocalyptic / dystopian with a little bit of fantasy mixed in. From what I can understand from the summary, because I haven't read this one yet, it's about a boy, main character, can't remember his name, but he's the son of 2 undocumented immigrants and his family are killed, not by the government or by a gang or the mafia or anything. His family are killed by a virus which gives the main character magical powers. He becomes a technopath. And that's all I really know about it, and that's all I need to know. It sounds like my kind of thing. I think it's going to be action-packed and I also really love the cover. Then there's The Weight of Our Sky, which I am dying to read. I just haven't had a chance to buy it yet. This is set in 1969 in Malaysia during the race riots. Basically back in 1969, China and Malaysia didn't really like each other. I don't know if that's the case now, but back then they hated each other and there was a war. In this city where the main character lives, there are riots going on and there's a curfew, and the main character has to get from one side of the city to another to reunite with her family, and she is helped by a Chinese boy. I think this sounds really intriguing because I haven't read any historical fiction that's set in Malaysia, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I'm actually dying to read it, so I might pick it up very soon. The Last 8, this one is about aliens. Aliens have invaded the earth and killed almost everyone, but then the main character, who's called Clover, she hears a distress signal, or she hears something over the radio that indicates that there are survivors, so she has to do a road trip, travel to Area 51 to find these survivors and unite with them. I really liked The Fifth Wave when it came out, and this book has been compared to that, but I imagine that it's going to be better. It's just a feeling I've got. I don't know where I'm getting this from, but I've got a feeling. And then there's We Rule the Night. This one has been likened to Codename Verity, which is one of my all-time favourite books. If you haven't read that one, go and check it out. This is about 2 main characters. The first one is a factory worker who is imprisoned for treachery, and the other main character is a girl who is the general's daughter, and she has to disguise herself as a boy in order to do stuff. I'm not really sure what. And then they meet and maybe there's going to be a romance, I'm not sure. I haven't actually read any spoilers for this one. Maybe there's a chance. Crown of Feathers, which is about Phoenix Riders, and that is all I know. I adore the cover for this one. It's absolutely stunning and I am absolutely dying to read it. I've got a really good feeling about this one, even though I don't know much about it. I've got a feeling that it's going to be good. Here and Now and Then, which is another one about time travel, which is one of my favourite things to read about. The main character is a man who is a secret agent, and not just a normal secret agent, he's a time travelling secret agent. And I think he has to go back in time and save his daughter, and he kind of gets torn between 2 lives. And I love the sound of this one, partly because it's about time travel and I love that kind of stuff. And secondly, I haven't read many books with decent father-daughter relationships, and as someone who doesn't have a decent father-daughter relationship with my own father, I would quite like to read about someone who does. The Luminous Dead, which is about a space expedition. The main character is going mining or something in space and she is possessed possessed, I think. This is what I'm getting from the synopsis, but it's not entirely clear. I think her body is possessed by someone or something called M. M kind of helps her along when she's struggling with this expedition. And then she also feels like she's being followed, so I'm not sure if like M is meant to be following her, or if she and M are going to like team up and there's going to be like creepy zombies following her or something. I don't know, but I think it sounds really good, and also the cover is freaking creepy. So there's that. The next one is another one that I've read, and that is The Night Olivia Fell. This was a adult thriller, supposedly, but I would say it's actually more of a adult mystery verging on YA. It follows a mother as she investigates an accident that her daughter was in. Olivia, the daughter, she fell from a bridge one night and she is declared brain dead, but she can't be taken off life support because she is also pregnant. So the main character, the mother, wants to investigate what happened to her daughter because she doesn't think that Olivia jumped, and she doesn't think that it was an accident. She doesn't think she fell by herself. She thinks that Olivia was pushed. And I really enjoyed this one. I felt very connected to Olivia, even though we only got to know her through flashbacks, but it was told really, really well. And I loved the mother-daughter relationship in this one. It was on point. So I would recommend checking that out if you haven't already. The next one is one that everyone has been raving about, and that is Descendant of the Crane. I don't know much about this one because I've tried to stay away from all spoilers because I'm convinced I'm going to love it, just going by what everyone else has said. All I know is it's about a princess who becomes queen because her father dies, and then she has to try to figure out who killed her father. And that's all I need to know, really. I just think it sounds really good. And finally, the last one is one that I recently read and also reviewed on my channel. I will leave a link up above, and that is The Silent Patient. This is a psychological thriller about a therapist who goes to a mental institution to find out why the silent patient is silent. The silent patient is actually a woman called Alicia. She stopped talking the night that she shot her husband, and she hasn't spoken in 6 years. No one knows why she did it. No one knows why she is still silent, why she is mute, but this therapist thinks that he can find out and perhaps get her talking again. I really, really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars, and I would highly recommend it, obviously. I think it was a really strong debut and everything wove together really, really well. So I'm very impressed by what the author has accomplished here, considering it's his debut book. It's definitely one that I think you should check out if you're interested. So these are some of the debut books that have been coming out this year so far. Let me know if you have read any of these already, or if you're interested in any of them in the comments below. I would love to know which ones I should definitely be picking up. I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.